Hi guys, welcome back to the Scott Payne YouTube channel. Doing a string change on a 2017 Gibson Les Paul Traditional High Performance and Antique Burst. This has a G-Force tuning system on it. Now, it's different than the 2015 and the older ones, because the older ones have a little cap that you screw on and off, which I'll do a video on that with my other one. These ones are different. They don't have the caps. You got to go through the slots. I've already taken the strings off and loosened the 2E strings so I can clean up my fretboard and everything, but now I'm going to attempt to show you how you restring it. I'm using my main strings are Ernie Ball Cobalts, hybrid slinkies, 9 to 46. These are Ernie Ball hybrids, 9 to 46 also, but they're called the M Steels, and it's the same thing as the Cobalts. This just happens to be the most wrapped cobalt around these strings or whatever. So we're going to start with the B string first, and then we'll go up through. So like I said, this is a little different than the 2015 models and older. So, since you don't have the caps on there to lose, which I kind of like the caps a little better, because I'm still just not big in the wrapping the strings around these ones all that much. But you'll feed it through, and since we're doing the B string, we put that there, and then we kind of measure up to the G string post, right? And I'll go through that just a bit, and then I'll cut the string just past the G string post here. So now what you want to do is take the string, and then you feed it down. There's a little hole in the center of this post here. You'll feed it down into that slot, and then wrap around. There's two flanges here, the top and the middle flange. You'll wrap clockwise around that. Go a full turn. It's a pain in the butt when you got fat fingers like I do. And then I'm trying to keep my big head out of the camera. So, you get that in. Go around the top. Get around there, man. And then once you're around the top, there's a little flange that goes down to the bottom. And then you'll go around that flange, and then you'll start to string it up, which I will do the string up procedure, because it makes it a lot easier. You'll want to make sure you're in the saddle and everything before you get too tight.
Okay, that sounds, yeah.
Okay. G-Force will take over to tune it for you with whatever pitch you got it set at, but then you want to turn it off so you can move on to the next string, because if it picks up, you know, songs or picks up something, then it might want to go, and you don't want it doing that until you get all the strings on and you're ready to tune. Alright. Here we go. The G string. Now, I've already done a video with my 2015 on how to calibrate it if you're changing string gauges or string brands, and that'll be exactly the same. All those processes are the same, regardless if it's a 2015 with the caps or a in 2016 or 17 and all that, the calibration mode is exactly the same. So you can refer to the calibration mode on my 2015 to do that after we do this. So we don't have a post here to measure to, so I usually just go just out past the headstock a bit, like where it's almost even with the open book part right there. And this will be the same thing. Stick it down in, come around this outside part, go one wrap all the way around, and then your second wrap you want to go through the flange to the bottom of the post, and then we're going to hold it, and we're going to string up mode. Now you can't stretch out the strings on a G-force like you can on other guitars. The reason for that is if you start yanking on the strings, you know, to stretch them out, it could put way too much tension on these posts into the G-force and screw things up. Because there's no screws holding on. The only thing holding this G-force on are each of these tuning pegs come through this little nut on it. That's what's holding the whole thing on there. So I like it. I'm not going to change it out or anything, but if you ever wanted to put regular tuning keys on here, you don't have to worry about any holes being back there that you're going to see. The only holes that'll be there are the holes for the post to come through, and then whatever little tiny holes that you put in it to screw in any kind of tuning keys. So anyway, that's the treble side. Now the same thing's going to happen on the bass side here. Now that's the other difference on the 2015s and the older ones that don't have this set up, is you'll have to have your slots facing in a different direction instead of being 11 to 5 like all of them are. That's what you need to have these at whenever you're putting the strings on it. 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. On the other ones, you know, this side will have to be like at 9 and, you know, 4 or something, but we're not worrying about that, we're worrying about this one. So, alright, let's do the bass side. And where we're going. Same thing. Back there. Measure. I'm going to stick this one through, and we're going to go clockwise though instead. So get that through there, and then you're going to come clockwise to the outside first, and then wrap all the way around the top, and then go through that flange to the bottom. Now, same thing, set it up for the string up. Alrighty. we go. We're set in now. And let's do the A string. Now we can measure through the flange here. Go through this post. Just a little bit past it. Cut. Now be careful and don't try to get ahead of yourself, because I screwed up one time and I was measuring it out and then I cut it the wrong length. You know, I'm thinking I'm doing this one, but I was doing that one, so I cut it too short. So just as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, you're good. So there we go. Same thing. Down in the hole. Clockwise around the top. One turn. Up through. And then down under that little flange. Get it ready for the string up. And we wind it. Just remember not to go cranking, you know, hold it tight, but you don't have to crank it really tight. Just keep it in line so everything stays in. That's all you gotta do. And there it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish other strings without the camera on. You got the idea on the bass side and the treble side. Forgot to turn that off there. So, I'll try to get some more videos up for you guys on some other functions with these. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And check back. Just like and subscribe to the Scott Payne YouTube channel. Along with stuff like this, I'm going to try to entertain you. Thank you, good night, and I'll see you next time.